Okay, so remember when I said I was fixated on September of 2023? And the reason why I was is because I felt like it was a sense of relief knowing that I had found out, what was the root cause and all of that stuff, right? But at the same time, I had been praying. So this is a part of the story, but um, it goes back to May 26th of 23. So May 26th, my grandmother ended up having a heart attack, and she had been having this heart attack. Like, she actually went to the hospital on May 26th, and they found out that she was having a heart attack, and it damaged majority of her organs, um because she was having it for so long and didn't know. And so the 26th, for for me, from that time on, was like a time of just praying, like, Lord, um just let her live as long as you will allow her to. Like, I'm not trying to put a time frame on it, but hey, Lord, let her make it through the holidays. Like, I know, like, this was a shocker for us. I know that her heart isn't 100% anymore. Um and at this rate, what they were telling us was that, she'll be lucky to even live, 2 weeks, because of how hard of a hit her heart had took, and all of the damage that it had done to her. And so in September, we had celebrated my grandmother's 74th birthday. And I was like, okay, like, this feels really good to still be able to do the things with her. She was in a nursing facility, and we pretty much, just showered her with love and gifts and just seeing her family and everything. So I was really happy about that. And then going back, I said that October I started teleworking. So October I completed my mediation training to be a federal mediator, and that was something that I had came across in May as well. And ended up completing it in October. But the funniest thing happened in October. It actually happened September 28th, where I was trying to figure out what God was trying to tell me. So for maybe like 2 or 3 days, I'm like, man, I just feel that God is telling me that I need to fast for strength. And I'm like, okay, like, but what type of strength? I don't really know what type of strength I need. And so I was like, but what type of fast am I supposed to do? What is it supposed to look like for me? So I want to say September 30th was a Sunday. It was a Sunday, and I pulled up to church, and I was like, Lord, I don't know what type of, fast this is supposed to be, but I'm going to be obedient. I'm going to do, this fast. Is it supposed to be 3 days? Am I supposed to be fasting, um, abstaining from food for the 3 days and only water? Like, am I supposed to do, like, what time and all this stuff? So one of my really close friends, she I never said anything to anybody about doing a fast, but she ended up sending me a DM on Instagram. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with Covered by God, um, with Tiffany Montgomery, but it was like the whole outline. Like, by the time I prayed this before I went into the church. By the time I came out of the church, I received this DM, and she's like, hey, I don't know, but I thought that you would probably be interested in doing it. So it's a 3-day fast, only fruits and vegetables, water from 6 to 3 or 6 to 6. Yeah, water from 6 to 6 for 3 days. And I was like, okay, cool, I'll do it. So in the midst of that all taking place, the first was that very next day. So Monday, I'm like, all right, cool. I got my big water jug, all the stuff. Mind you, I'm still going to work because this is October 1st. And so that morning, I get up and I'm just in prayer. I'm like going on. I get in the shower, all of the things, but I'm still praying. But I'm like praying with my eyes closed. And I'm like, Lord, you told me to do this fast. Like, what is this a representation of? Like, what type of strength do I need? And he literally in prayer, the vision that I saw was my grandmother in her casket, and he said, you need the type of strength to give the eulogy. And I'm like, what? Like, for one, what is a eulogy? Like, for two, who's the minister? Who's the pastor? Like, no, I cannot do that. And crazy enough, this happened on October 1st. And I was just like shocked. But I was so scared to tell anybody because I was like, if I tell someone, like, is the Lord going to strip this from me? Like, is he going to take this assignment away from me because I opened my mouth before I was supposed to? And so I kept it to myself, but I ended up telling one of my coworkers. And the only reason why I told her was because she saw my face. I got up, I left out for work, and I get to work, and she's like, what's going on? And I was like, nothing, like, just trying to keep it to myself. At the same time, I had prophesied to her in a way where she was, because the videos on is one of like my first posts, but I'm having a conversation with her, and she's not a believer, but she's unsure if she wants to believe. She's unsure of, religion, God, all of the things. And I'm talking to her, and the Lord literally gives me a message to give to her. And she was like, because I went through so much trauma and as a child that I don't even know if I really believe. And he literally, and I said this in my video, the way that he came up from the bottom of my foot and into my chest, and it was like, oh Lord, like, to sit there and be confused and wrestling with yourself because you're trying to shush God from what he's trying to get through to a person because you're just afraid of how they'll react to you. And so I ended up telling her that, exactly what he said. He never left her. He would never leave her nor forsake her. If he really wanted her to stay in bondage and in trouble, he could have left her in Mexico where she was with her family. But instead, he brought her thousands of miles away for her to not only succeed, but to prosper on her own. So it was, September was a lot, October was a lot, but that is just the beginning of everything. God gave me a word for someone, and then God gave me the vision of what the assignment would look like in October. And I just thought that him showing me the visual of what was going, like what my grandmother's ceremony was going to look like, I was so nervous, y'all, like so nervous. But yeah, he entrusted me with something so special. Now that I realize it,